Hi everybody, welcome back to Foster Media. So in this video I'll be having a look at a program called Nethogs, which is a free and open source program that's used to track an activity on your network. It's an extremely useful lightweight tool that I've recently discovered and thought I would make this video in case you were possibly looking for something similar. And as you can see on my screen here, I currently have it running on one of my virtual machines, and it's showing each process that is sending and receiving data. If one of these happens to be getting out of hand, it can easily be killed with the kill command. It extends the nettop tool to track bandwidth by each individual process, rather than by its protocol or subnet, which makes it easier for Linux administrators to identify which process is generating the usage spikes on their networks in real time. A tool such as Wireshark can also be used to accomplish this, but NetHogs is much lighter on resources. And just because sometimes you don't need all those bells and whistles if you just want to quickly see what's going on with your network. Even though NetHogs runs primarily on Linux-based operating systems, it doesn't require a special kernel module to be loaded, so it's very easy to install and use. If you happen to notice a spike on your network traffic, you can just fire up Nethogs to see which process is causing it. And then after it's found, it can easily be killed, freeing up that bandwidth. Using collected data, Nethogs displays both the process ID and the name of the program. For example, right here with Rhythmbox, it's showing us the process ID and then the name of the program that spun up that process. And because of this, identifying programs that are using up too much bandwidth is real easy. When the tool is started, it displays the current networking data in the form of a text-based chart, as you can see here using end curses. And as long as the program is running in the foreground, the display will be continuously updated. But keep in mind though that NetHogs only displays the data for processes that are currently using the network. So if a process is not actively sending or receiving data, it just won't appear in the list. And as you can see, I do have a few different processes using up some bandwidth, such as Firefox, Thunderbird, and Rhythmbox here. And if one of them happens to get out of hand, we can just kill it off with the kill command followed by the process ID. And to do that, all you have to do is open up another terminal and say kill, followed by space, then the process ID. So I think for now, maybe I'll just get rid of Rhythmbox. So that would be 15 or 158.44. So all you have to do is say 158.44. And now I'd enter. That should close off Rhythmbox for us. Yeah, and there it goes. It will, however, sometimes take it about a minute or so to be removed from the list, but it will very shortly show us that Rhythmbox is no longer sending or receiving any data. And then in about a minute or so, it'll be removed from the list, which is great if you just want to remove, say, one process. But it is very common, say, for browsers or email clients to spin up a whole bunch of different processes. And it'd be a real pain to have to go through and remove each one by one. So say if you want to just wipe them all out in one go, and all you'd have to do that is just say kill all, followed by a space. And then instead of the process ID, you would use the name of the program. So I think I'll just close off Firefox. In my case, that would be ESR. And now at enter, it should close off this window for us and prevent Firefox from sending and receiving any more data. So let's hit enter. And there goes Firefox. And it should very shortly be removed from the list here. So that's how you did identify processes on your network that are using up too much bandwidth and how you go about killing them off. As you can just see, Firefox was just removed from the list. And then if you want to, installing NetHogs is very easy. I'll show you how to do that right now. And maybe I'll just exit out of here. And I'll put NetHogs. So as you can see, I have a file on here called nethogs.txt. And if I cut that out, there's the commands we're going to have to use to get it on the system. So the first one here takes care of the dependencies. The libcurses one, right there, is used to provide the ncurses text-based interface. And the libcap one will be used for the user level package capture. And we'll also be able to save this output to a file so we can use it in the script, which will, of course, be extremely useful. And we'll definitely have a look at that in a couple of minutes. So to get the dependencies out of the way, all we have to do is just copy and paste this command. and run that. And I'll also make sure to leave these commands in the description of this video. And then after we have the dependencies installed, we can just run this command right here to install the actual program itself. So I'm just going to enter. As you can see, I already have them installed. If these weren't already on your system by default, your output obviously will look quite a bit different from what you're seeing on mine. But yeah, now that we have the dependencies out of the way, we can install a program with this command right here. And I'll enter. And same deal here too. I already have it installed, so you're not going to see too much on my end. But now with it on the system, it'd be nice maybe if we could get a list of options to see what we have available to us. So to open that, all you'd have to do is say sudo Nethogs and then -h. And there's all of our options right there. There are quite a few though, so I think I'm just going to cover a handful of these today and just show you maybe the ones that I use most often. Such as the -t here for trace mode, which will show each connection one by one instead of in a table. That way we can save the information to a file and later use in the script if we want. Then we have the -c here too, which will specify the number of updates, which is really useful if we want to, say, save it to a file. That way the program will know when to stop providing updates before it writes it to a file. And another one I use quite a bit is the -p for promiscuous mode, but that will also show packets that are being sent and received from different devices. So I'm guessing that's why it's not recommended due to security and privacy reasons. And on second thought, I'll probably skip that one for today, but definitely suggest checking that out later on. And then we have a handful of ones down here at the bottom that we can use while the program is running. So that way, if we want to use any of these options, we don't have to quit out of the program and then restart with a new flag. We can just use one of these to do it as it's running. So to launch Nethogs, all you have to do is say sudo Nethogs and hit enter. And if you want to use a specific interface device, all you do is throw that name in right here. So just throw in a space and the name of the device that you want to capture on. By default, Nethogs will capture from all devices that are currently connected, but I only have the one, so I'm just going to use the defaults. But if you did want to specify a specific one, you just put that name in right here. So yeah, if I launch this now, though, I don't think it's going to show us too much because I closed everything off. So I'll just do that. Yeah, as you can see, it's not doing too much right now. So maybe I'll just wake up Thunderbird here. As you can see, there's Thunderbird now. And then I'll open up Firefox again. And then maybe search for something. Okay, so now we got Firefox in our list. And maybe I'll get Rhythmbox going again too. Yeah, and now we have Rhythmbox. And yeah, maybe what I'll do now is just get rid of this with Q. And then we'll try out some of these options. So the first one I think I'm going to try is the trace mode. So I'll say sudo Nethogs -t. And then if I hit enter on this, you can just see it showing us the connections one by one here. So we got Thunderbird, Firefox, all that stuff. And this will just continuously update until we cancel it, which we can do with Control-C. So I'm just going to do that now. And that'll stop it. But it would be nice to be able to, say, determine a amount of updates. So that if in, sorry, can't talk today. So if in that case, we want to save the information to a file, the program will know when to stop updating before it does that. And to do that, we can just use the -c flag. So all we have to do is say sudo Nethogs actually, I'll just do a trace mode like we just did. And then to specify the number of updates, we can just say -c and then the number of updates you want. So in this case, let's use 5, hit enter. And then it'll just give us 5 different updates. And yeah, next what I usually do is I sometimes want to save this information to a file, and then we can later on use it in the script. And to do that, we can just use the same command that we just used. and then just followed by a couple right carets, and then the name of the file, whatever you want to call it. So I think I'll just call this test.txt and enter. And because it's redirecting the output to a file, we're not going to see it on the screen. But now if we ls, there's the file right there, test.txt. And if I cut that out, there's our information right there. So now if we want to use this in a script, we can just parse this information from this file and use it however we want. And those are definitely the most useful options I found with Nethogs. There are quite a few of them you can check out and experiment with. But actually, maybe one more quick thing I'll show you here as well. Have a look at some of those live options. So if we say sudo nethogs -h, we can use some of these guys down here. So we already use queue to quit, but we can sort by sent traffic, received traffic, the base name of the program, so the full path is nice. And we can also cycle through the units of measurement too. So kilobytes to bytes to megabytes, and same deal with the throughput. So I'll just launch Nethogs again. And I think I'll use the B flag, so we can just get rid of the full path and see the actual name of the program. And maybe switch between the units of measurement. So I'll have to wake some stuff up again. And maybe rhythm box here. Okay, so now we got some stuff running. If we hit the B, you can see right now our program, it's showing our program name instead of the full path, which is really nice if you say you want to kill off one of these programs. And yeah, there's the full path again. And then if we use EM, you can see right here that the units of measurement are changing. So kilobytes to bytes to megabytes. And then after that, we have the throughput. So we can see how much data is being transferred per second. And I think that's a good start. And I'll probably wrap it up here. But there's still a lot more you can obviously do with this, such as sniffing in promiscuous mode, which will enable you to capture packets from additional devices, using a specific interface to capture the packets on, garbage collection, and so on. But yeah, I hope this helped. If you were trying to find different ways to monitor the traffic on your network, as you'll now be able to discover which processors are using up all your bandwidth, and then easily kill them off if need be. But yeah, I think that will do it for today. Thank you guys for watching the video, and hope to see you on the next one. Bye for now.